comment, share with everybody that you know. As usual, I am your girl, the one, the only, Jasmine. We're going to always give you a great show, but before that, let's say thank you to our sponsors. Today's show is sponsored by RG Kids Portrait. They specialize in kids, maternity, and baby shoots. It comes with decor and attire. They are currently running their Christmas special, so don't forget to hit them up. You can find them on Instagram. It's RG underscore kids underscore portrait, or you can give them a call on 614-254-2151. Inkwall Printing for all your volume copies, business cards, envelopes, brochures, flyers, promo items, booklets, carbonless forms, invitations, rubber stamps, photos, and many, many more. You can find Inkwall Printing on 1900 East Dublin Granville Road, Columbus, Ohio 43229. Or you can give them a call on 614-888-2201. Believers Attire. Believers Attire is a Christian themed t shirt which aims to start conversations and motivate and affirm our trust in God. I'm wearing one today. Yes, today I decided to pull one out. I'm wearing one today, but they have so many amazing shirts. I think if you've been following the show since day one, Kumasi has been rocking a few. But today I decided to switch places and I have one on, I think it says, pray big, worry small, trust God, and all the amazing things that comes with it. If you want one of our shirts, it comes in all sizes. If you want one, you can give us a call on 220-465-0822. Either call or text. So yeah, with that said, let's get the show started. I'm here. He doesn't even need an introduction anymore. I'm here with the one and only Kumasi. How are you, bro?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm good. It's Saturday.
Yes.
I'm feeling the black on black. It's
Oh,
given.
thank you.
It's
Thank
given.
you.
It's
I
given
like that.
some. It's given something. I don't know what you were feeling like today, though. What were
I'm
you
in the
feeling like?
Terminator mood
I
right
can
now.
tell. I can tell.
The
But how?
mood, the mood to terminate.
Were you trying to terminate them? Were you trying to terminate?
What can we actually terminate?
I don't.
Terminate contracts.
I thought about something, but I couldn't say it out loud.
Yeah, you cannot, of course.
You know what I thought
I know.
about?
I know what you thought about. That's why I threw it back to you. That what
I'm
can
gonna
we terminate?
behave.
Please do.
I'm gonna behave. But hey, how's your weekend going so far?
So far so good.
That's good.
Yeah.
So today, what are we talking about today?
Today's episode
25.
26. We did 25
I
on
quit. Oh yeah, on Thursday.
on Thursday. We did 25. So we're dealing with we're talking about dealing with partners with kids. Will you marry anybody with kids?
Honestly, respectfully,
Yeah.
I know it sounds very bad saying it, but as a woman without kids, a young woman without kids, I will prefer a man without kids.
I know what you would prefer is different. Would you marry a man with kids?
Depending the situation.
You would.
Depending the situation. One kid.
What could the situation be?
One kid. One. Let me clarify.
But does the number matter?
Yes.
Why?
One. Because imagine meeting a guy, let's say, with 4 kids. I'm single. No kids. It's different if, let's say, I had 2 kids,
Right.
and then he has 4, and then we are joining together.
Right.
But if he has 4, I have none. When will I have my 3 or my 4 to join yours? That's 8 kids. College is expensive. America is expensive now, personally. But if he has 1 kid, the situation in which I would date a person with kid is, let's say, maybe the partner passed away.
Okay.
Yes, the partner passed away.
Right.
That one is like a situation that you had no control over.
All right.
That is when I would date a person with maybe more than 1 kid. But even that, it would take a lot for me. But for me, I would say 1 is my limit. That's me.
What informed your decision not to marry somebody with kids?
Because I feel like I don't want to use for lack of better words, I'm too selfish, not to say that. Because I feel like starting a family fresh with 1 person, the feeling is different. If he's already had a kid, he's already had that experience. But for me, if I'm marrying a man with no kids, I think the feeling is different. We are doing this together for the first time. So it's like we are learning together. We are starting this together. A blended family, as much as people make it cute online, it is not easy. I personally grew up in a blended family, and I know the struggles that it takes. So for me, growing up, I had to make a decision that I want a one man, one woman. Like, let's say if I get, God forbid, if I get married and let's say divorce happens, I would rather be by myself with my kid than to put them in certain situations. Some people are lucky. They get, great step parents, whatever. Me personally, I think I'll be a great stepmother. I will. But I don't want to put myself in that situation. That's just me. Not to say there's anything wrong with it, but me personally, I can't.
What are some of the things that you think will make it hard?
To date a man with kids?
Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that you think that because of this, if I date somebody with a kid, it's gonna make it hard for me?
Oh, I don't know. The mother,
Okay.
depending the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because every woman has a way that they want to raise their child,
Right.
right? So it depends. Let's say me and the mother have like an agreement on a certain way. I think if we have an understanding, it's different. If there's mutual respect, it's different. But there's some women, I don't know how to explain, but for me personally, I feel like maybe the mother will be my reason why I wouldn't. I don't know.
But why are you making the person that's not in your marriage be the reason why you make a decision whether to get into a marriage or not?
Sometimes
Because that person cannot be in your marriage. They wouldn't live in your house.
Mm.
They would not be in your marriage. So why are you making your decision based on that person?
I'm not making a decision based on the other person, but I'm making a decision based on how did the relationship end. A lot of times you'll be surprised how I don't want to say because I was never in that position, but let's just say my mother, right? How maybe my mother does not like my new stepmother because maybe she wanted my father and she doesn't have my father. And then sometimes mothers can pollute their children's mind
Okay.
towards the other mothers and fathers. I've seen fathers do that.
Okay.
Mothers and fathers can pollute their mind. So maybe the child has nothing to do with me, doesn't have a problem with me, but based on the information they're getting from a mother or a father, the reaction that the child will give me is different. It's, disrespect, certain things. So for me, that's why I'll base it's not because of the man or the other woman. It's just because I want to make sure that if I'm building, we are raising this kid together. There's no out, because this kid won't stay with us all the time.
Right.
Sometimes the kid will go to the mother. How the kid is being raised there, when he comes and maybe it's not the same way, it becomes a problem. A lot of times we have to be honest. When they go, maybe they get their way. But in this house, there are rules. So then it becomes conflict. Conflict starts. If you're not careful, the father will even think you don't like the child, but maybe that's not the situation. Maybe the child being raised outside and the child being raised in my home is different. So it creates issues. That's why. I have a few reasons.
Will you want a man to marry you when you have kids?
It's a preference for him too.
Will you?
Me
Will you
personally,
want to be married? I wouldn't even
me
say
personally, I
that.
will not put myself
Would
in
you
that
Would you
situation.
want to be married if you have kids?
Yes or no?
Give me a no and a yes.
Yes or no? Okay. If it was me, I feel like no, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't remarry.
So let's say you have a 8-year-old boy, 10-year-old boy. You don't think that you should be married so to have a man in the life of the kids?
Me personally depends.
I don't like the it depends.
It
Tell
dep-
me how
let
you
me
actually feel.
let me tell you why I say it depends.
Okay.
It depends the situation around maybe.
Let's say you were married. Let's say you were married.
And then
Initially you were married and then you got divorced because the man was not doing what he was supposed to do. And
I will
you really
remarry
so-
again.
Okay.
I'll
You,
remarry.
you
again.
want another man to take your 2 kids and take care of them?
I'll remarry again.
You want another man to take care of?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll remarry again, but I'll prefer a man who already has kids.
You prefer a man who okay. So in this situation,
All
you have-
honesty.
So in this situation, you have 2 different step sides coming
I'll
together.
prefer that.
Why? What will motivate that?
Because he has his own kids, I have my own kids. There's an understanding. If
Of what?
there's a mutual understanding and mutual respect. If he doesn't, let's just imagine maybe I was married before, I have my 2 kids, and the 2 kids is all that I can have. I can't have any more kids.
Okay.
Let's use a scenario like
Okay.
that. The man doesn't have kids, so they will want a child. So then it becomes pressure on me as a woman.
But if you cannot have, if you that is different though. The reason why I'm saying that is different. If you cannot have a child for a man, you wouldn't want to marry somebody who do not have a child. That is even
That's
being
true.
selfish, especially when that person wants kids.
Me personally, I would not.
I'm looking at a situation where you have kids,
He
has
doesn't?
kids. No, I'm looking at a situation where you have kids, he doesn't have kids. Do you want
I
to?
would not.
Why?
It's just a personal preference for me.
I want to understand the reason behind that.
How do I put it? I want to put it in the best words. No offense to anybody, but I feel like then there will be like a mutual kind of understanding when it comes to raising my kids. Because let me tell you, if he doesn't have kids and you have kids, sometimes the treatment is different. I'll be honest. Let's just say, okay, he doesn't have kids. I have my kids. And then let's say him and I have kids. The treatment in which he would treat my child is a lot different. I have seen this happen. Right? How he treats my child will be way different compared to the kid that we have together. The kid that we have together, the treatment will be he'll be more receiving and accepting towards the kids that he has with me compared to my child. Me personally, I'm speaking from experience.
Do you think that is normal?
What do you mean? I think that's normal. It's not his kids.
That they taking care of their kids and maybe not doing what you wish that they
That is the
do
reason
for-
I would not want to marry a man that doesn't have his own kids if I have kids. I'm sorry, I would not. I've said this
Okay,
several times.
so if the man have his own kids, okay. The fact that based on what you're saying, if the man have his own kids, it means he's still gonna treat his kids better than your kids, based on what you're saying.
Sure, but I feel like there'll be a different type of understanding. There
Is
will
it
be.
possible that you also gonna treat your kids better than you treat his kids?
You know, as much as we don't want to say it, to be honest, you will. You will. Because that's not your kid. Maybe you guys come together as an understanding, oh, okay, you know, that's my kids. There's some women, me personally, I'll treat the kids nicely. If I'm talking about me, Jasmine, I will treat the person nice. I'll treat the kids nicely. But personally, I will prefer if he has his own and I have my own. That's it. Why do I feel like I'm being interviewed in this situation? I feel like I'm being interviewed.
No, I'm trying to understand young woman logic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any man should marry any woman with a kid.
Why? Everybody's second chance. Love is love. Why not?
I just believe that a lot of us think we can do it, but actually we cannot.
It's hard.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. You know, we can do it, but it's not.
It's
Sometimes
hard.
even raising your own kids, sometimes people want to give up.
Yeah.
You know, even raising your own kids.
Yeah.
And two, I'm looking at it from a point of view like you're gonna get married to somebody. The person already started a life before you.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to? Do you want somebody that you want to start a life with, or you want somebody that already lived the life, probably past the stage that you want to have fun?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not equally yoked. The person is right here, you are right there. So there's so many misunderstandings that's gonna come from this marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at a young guy, right? Of let's say 32 years, ready to settle down. And they go for a young woman of let's say 30 years, 3 kids. How you think your priorities can never be the same?
Yeah.
This woman have kids.
So her mind is on.
Her mind is different.
Yeah.
Her mindset is different. That's why I wish men don't make that mistake, honestly.
If they have their own, if he has his own kid, I think it will be perfect.
Nah. So this is what I think. I think that if men decide that we are not gonna marry women with kids, women will shape their lives.
Okay.
Almost every woman want to be married. Almost every woman. I know there are some women that don't want to, but they regret later anyway. So if almost every woman want to get married, and then men have a preference that we are not marrying women with kids, women are gonna shape their life.
Okay.
Because now I feel like women are just living. We are just living. You know, when a woman go around and play around with everybody and have kids and still come and get somebody married them. You know, I feel like women are not questioned. We have to care for women. We have to do this to get married. even when a good guy is there for them, they will still not pick them. They will go pick that guy and have kids with them. And some women actually say, I just want to have a kid for this guy.
Yeah.
Some women actually speak like that. And then after having the kid for that guy, the guy leaves. Then it becomes a burden on another man. I don't think that is fair.
What if it was the opposite?
Like,
you have the kid, the man has the kids. Will you want your sister to marry?
Because in reality, women give access to sex.
Okay, but I'm saying.
So if women give access to sex, a man cannot have a kid without a woman saying, I want to have a kid.
I understand, but I'm saying, you're saying if a woman has kids, she shouldn't be married.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm saying, so what if the man has kids?
And that's the same thing. I'm looking at the ripple effect. What I'm saying is, if you decide, if you tell me, I'm not going to sleep with you, I'm not going to make you have kids, I'm not going to have kids for you whilst I'm not married to you, we're going to solve that problem. At least half of that problem. Because the reason why we're having this problem is most young girls go around sleeping with everybody, you know, without any form of commitment. And if there is no form of commitment, okay, you think you like this guy, you slept with him, 2 kids come out of it, the guy don't like you. Now you are 30 years, reality sets you want somebody that's going to take care of you and your kids. You understand what I'm trying to say?
I get what you mean.
Now there's somebody that have to take that burden. A burden that he didn't create. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that if every man have the preference of, I'm not going to marry a woman with a kid, most women will turn their life around.
Okay, so since, you know, the world is the world right now,
right,
and we're in this situation, if a woman with kids can't get married, then a man with kids should not also be married.
Because
no offense.
So one thing too is you got to understand that 95% of kids live with their mothers, not their fathers.
Well, then the man still should not be married. I'm sorry.
There is a bigger. Okay, so we are looking at this life doesn't interfere with ours. If I marry a woman with kids, there is no way their life doesn't interfere with mine.
It will.
You can marry a man with kids and their life will never interfere with yours. That's the difference. So let's say if I may even have kids that the mother doesn't even want anything to do with me.
Of course, it happens.
That life doesn't.
That's not
No,
fair.
it's not.
That's not right. Okay. The reason why I said, okay, I prefer a man that has already has kids if I have kids is because then he has the understanding of raising children.
Right.
Right. But then at the end of the day, he still has a child.
Right.
Whether the child lives with the mother or not, he still has a child.
Of course.
So then me too, I can also say, oh, because he has kids, I don't want him.
Right. Of course.
So we can't say, oh, because of the woman.
No, you should be able to have that preference.
Oh, yeah, I do.
But that preference should come with a reason. Why are value men not going for men with kids? Value men don't marry women that have kids already. They don't.
Some do.
No, they don't. Look in the society. Every man that you hold in high esteem in the society, they don't go around marrying women with kids. They marry fresh-made women. They don't just go out. Look in your society. Just put your mind through your society.
They'll marry maybe one kid. They will.
No. They will. Put your mind on society. Even look at people in leadership positions. Nobody go around marrying women with kids already.
Okay.
It's high-profile men don't do that.
Okay.
Why don't they do that? Because they know it impedes your progress.
But how does it? If you can explain further, how does it impede your progress?
Oh,
I have a child.
So when I marry you, I'm responsible for you.
Of course.
When I marry you as a woman, I have responsibility to you. So if I have responsibility to you and you have kids already, it means I have to take care of the kids. Okay. Let's put that aside, even if I'm not going to give them financial, whatever. Let's put that even aside. The fact is, they're going to live in my house because that's where you live. I can have a child that will live with somebody else that may never even... There are some women that say, I don't want to have your kid in my house. And the most men understand. You cannot tell a woman, I don't want your kid to be in the house. It's basically tell the woman, I don't want you in the house.
That's true.
That's the difference between men and women. Women have a say in that. Women can actually say that, I don't want your kids in my house. I don't like the way the mother behaves. I don't like the kids in my house. Sometimes they can even go to the point of saying, I don't want your kids to be playing with my kids. Sometimes they go to that extent of saying that. Because of the lifestyle they think this kid and men obliged to that. You know why? But I cannot say that to you because your kids will live with you.
I feel like it's okay. I understand completely what you mean, but I feel like it's not fair. It's not right.
Life is not fair. You think life is gonna be fair?
If I get married and I have kids and then divorce happens, I feel like everybody deserves a second chance. Nobody plans to be married and divorced. Okay, it happens.
A lot of people do. A lot of people do. A lot of women do.
They do. You really feel like women
A
just
lot
get
of
up
women.
and plan?
A lot of women knew the marriage that they are getting into, the relationship they are getting into, is gonna break.
Every time you say that, I don't agree. I never agree. Why? You don't know.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you. A lot of women know they are with the wrong man. A lot of women know.
You think so?
I know so.
I don't think any woman wants to stay with the wrong man.
I've heard so many times women saying that,
I've heard
haven't you heard that before?
I have heard that.
I've heard so many women say, "Oh, menene ware kra one day kra sa ware ni kra at least my ware pen." Haven't you heard that before?
That is a self-esteem issue.
But what I'm saying is, haven't you? It doesn't matter.
I've heard that before.
I'm not a doctor. I don't fix those stuff. Haven't you heard some of it?
I've heard that
There's
before.
a lot of women that go into relationship that they know is gonna break, and they will still go it just to prove a point to people.
But okay,
if we have women going around making these dumb decisions and nobody is correcting them, nobody is telling them, nobody is punishing them for the what we say, for the choices that they make, why do you think another man who has lived his life, trying to start his life, should carry that baggage? It's a baggage.
What if they're going there in the hopes of things will change? No, I'm sorry. Okay, let me use this example. I think I shared this on here recently when I told you that a family member of mine told me to just settle for anybody they would change, right? And I told them I can't settle for just anybody just because I have standards and I feel like maybe things needs to be, I want a man that I can say certain things have to be different. But he was like, oh, maybe your preferences are too high. Settle for anybody. And with men, when they have kids with you, this is a family member that's when they have kids with you, things will change. Right? Many women, I don't think they go into it with the whole, I won't say, I can't speak on those women.
There's a lot of women.
But I'm saying maybe they go in there
when
with the hopes that things
when you
will
are
change.
in a relationship, let me ask you this. When you are in a relationship, and it's a time wasting, don't you see this relationship?
I've never been in a relationship.
I'm just saying, I'm not saying you as a person. I'm saying that when you are in a relationship and this person naturally don't care about you, don't you know this person don't care about you? What makes you think you can fix that? What makes you think? A lot of women are in a relationship that they want to prove a point to people, to society. A lot of, how many people that have...
But then it's society as well. I'm so sorry. It's society.
Go ahead.
Because let's say I'm in a relationship with you. It's not working. I feel like I realize that it's wasting my time. And then I want to leave. Right? I have to consider a lot of times being African in the African community. Oh, Wejai Kumasi Akofa Kwame. Wejai Kwame Akofa Kwabena. Maybe that's not the intention. Maybe when I was going in there, it was a great relationship. But with time, things changed. So then I have to leave Kumasi and go for Kwame. But then I have to now put society's, whatever society thinks, I have to consider everything. So then maybe I make the decision to just stay there, just for the sake of saving face. It's not like the intention behind it, but saving face, I just stay there. Right? I don't think most women go into relationship thinking, oh, this won't work. I just feel like a lot of women, let me be honest about us, we like projects.
A lot of women are sleeping. A lot of women are sleeping with men just for revenge. Does it fucking even make sense to you?
Yeah, that's crazy. But I'm coming from the perspective that a lot of women like projects. Do you know what women like?
Explain it to me.
Women like projects. Women are like fixer-uppers.
Okay.
So it's like they feel like me, dear. There's something special about me that I can fix you. So they know that this man they're going for is not it. Maybe before they enter the relationship they didn't know. Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt. They entered, things are different. Most young women feel like they can fix it. I can fix it. They like projects. Me, I think I was telling my sister recently, I'm not up for a project. I don't do projects. The reason I don't do projects is a man is going to be who he is. It won't be me that will change him. He has to make the decision himself to change for himself.
Yeah.
But most women have this thing in their mind, and I don't know who created that as thing in our mind that we feel like, oh, media can change you. I think maybe when we start changing that mindset that you can't change anybody,
Right.
you can't fix anybody, the person is going to be whoever the hell they are.
And
You
that's
just have
what
to
I told
accept
you
it.
yesterday or 2 days ago. I said, if you change, he's going to change.
So you have to make the decision that, look, I can't change you. I can't
Right.
fix you. I'm not Bob the Builder. I can't build a man. Oh, you get what I'm saying?
I do.
I'm not
do.
Bob the Builder. I can't build a man. So let him be. But we have this thing. Oh, I can fix
How
him.
many times haven't you seen a man with like 4 or 5 girls, and all the girls are fighting each other to be number one? How many times haven't you seen that?
Because we have this notion in our head that I'm special. I can fix it.
That's what I'm saying. That. So if this guy end up choosing you, do you really think this relationship is gonna be a relationship for you?
On behalf of the president of Women Affairs, it ain't gonna work.
Right.
He gonna cheat on you too.
So if you know this, you see, sometimes women choose lifestyles, right? And then expect different results. Sometimes how can you know that this guy, I heard a story, broken heart. Oh, you are
Wait, what? The side chick got a
the
broken heart?
side chicks with your broken heart.
How?
Like, I don't understand.
When you expect it to be broken?
Like, I
heart?
don't
The man
understand.
is
It's
married.
like you said, they actually think they are different.
No, let me tell you why.
Why?
Are you ready for that?
Go ahead.
I think I was having it with someone. I don't know who I was having that conversation with. You know, side chicks, right? You married men. Okay, I want to be pure and nobody should be offended. But a lot of married men give single women hope. Right?
True.
Like a married man will come, and this we've heard it so means, I'm going to leave my wife for you. If I met you before my wife, that's the one
that lyrics.
Hey,
If I had met you before my wife.
Recently, I was telling my sister, Columbus, if I want to ruin people's marriage, the married, especially the ones that you know, come. Oh, if I met you before my wife, I will never marry. You are so peaceful.
Yeah.
There's something about you. My wife doesn't give me peace. So, as a single girl, let's say you fall in love with a married man. And he comes.
What do you mean by you fall in love? How are you even gonna fall in love with a married man?
I can't come at me. I don't know. I've never fallen in love with a married man.
He's
human. Love is love. Maybe there's a certain type of treatments that I don't know.
I mean, I understand.
There's a certain type of treatments that maybe he gives. And there's some men that you don't know they're married, and you find out later they're married.
That is different.
Okay.
That is different. I'm talking about somebody knowing that this person is married and they still want to.
Some men come in the view of, I'm leaving my wife. Give me a chance and give me time. I'm leaving my wife. Right? Recently, this guy.
But what stopped you from telling him, okay, leave your wife. I'm waiting for you. Why do you get into a relationship with a man before the man leaves the wife?
Everybody's thinking is different. Okay. Oh, we are separate. A lot of the lie that married men say is, I'm separated.
Okay.
I'm this, I'm that. So that's the reason. A lot of single girls get heartbroken because they fall in love with this man, right?
Honestly, let me read some messages.
Don't tell me it's Marcus.
No, Kwame Mike.
Oh, jeez, he's back.
You can't change a fully grown man who have had his character traits since he was born.
Yeah.
You think you can change him? His mother couldn't change him.
Thank you.
Kwame Mike said that falling in love is a choice, though.
Falling in love is a choice. That's what I'm saying.
So what I'm saying is, when you make that choice, when you keep making this kind of choice, when you are getting in a relationship, there's a relationship that you know that you cannot doubt anything. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
But most of that relationship doesn't break. Is this the relationship that you're always so there's something iffy that you know in your mind, in your heart, you know, and you still goes into it. That is the relationship that. So if you go and this guy gives you 2 kids, you want me to carry over from the guy?
We have hope.
Hope of what?
Things will change.
Okay.
That's what we are told.
So if that is the situation, do you think I am wrong for saying I'm not gonna do that? The reason why men have that preference, the reason why men have that, it is easier for a woman to marry a man with kids. It is not easy for a man to marry a woman with kids.
I'll say yes. I watched this happen actually. We used to be close. When she got married, and she changed on me. But it's okay. She had 3 kids, and the guy had one, and they got married, and it worked out. It's working out till now. She had 3 kids, and they made it.
It would have been almost impossible for her if she didn't have a kid.
That he didn't have a kid.
If she didn't have a kid.
She had 3 kids.
Yeah, if she didn't have a kid and the guy have kid, it would have been a problem for her. Women settle when they know they make mistakes.
Oh.
Yeah, women settle when they know they make mistakes. Do you know why men don't want women with kids?
Why?
You know why? You really want to know why?
I want to know.
Okay, I've told you that everything about our life is about status to us. Men don't marry because they find love. That's why most do you know Kwame Nkrumah wasn't even married when he came to Ghana? He didn't have married. They have to force him to get married, Kwame Nkrumah. A high-profile man like Kwame Nkrumah. Why do you think they would want him to get married? Because of status. You cannot be running a country single. Like, if you don't have a home to run, how you think you're going to... So everything about us as men is status for us. The moment he became that level that he was, you need to find a woman.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Why do we put that kind of pressure? Let me explain.
What
If
pressure?
a man is single, right, don't you think he'll be able to run a country better compared to if he had was married and kids?
No.
If he's married with
No,
kids?
there's something called compassion.
Okay.
You need to have compassion. That's why Dennis Prager says, if you don't have a kid, you're not fully human.
Yeah.
There's something called compassion, and you really get it when you have kids. There are some guys or there are some women, when they hear kids crying and, this is bad. The moment you have your own, it's different. It's different. That's why most of the time when you see women that bully kids, they're the ones that don't have the understanding. Yeah, that's why. So for men, everything is about status. My wife is my number one status. If I have a beautiful wife, if I have a smart woman, if it's a status thing for me. It's not because I love her, that's why I'm with her. It's the status. It's what she adds to me. That's what I'm going for. When you go for a woman who already have started her life already, it's a baggage to you. And that's why, we have to say it as it is.
Okay.
It's a baggage to you as a man. That's why high-profile men, you hardly see them with, even in Africa, right? Even in Africa, the high-profile men, even the older men, if they had the chance to pick, they will still pick somebody with no kids. It's status. It's not about, it's status. Man, we don't really care about kids like that. It's the status that brings to me. So I'm not going to pick you and then you. Okay, so it's like you are already used. I'm being honest. That's how men look at it.
They're all used too.
What do you
Men are the most used human beings.
But look at it from this point of view. Is that not what women want?
Used men?
Women don't like men who don't have kids, who don't have females.
I don't want that personally.
But you know what I'm talking about?
My heart is not
the guy. What I'm saying is
fragile.
the guy that don't like
Females
women,
around?
always focus on their books.
I want that one.
They don't want that one. They naturally don't want that one. They will tell you, they don't know how to.
Can I be honest?
Be honest.
No.
Be honest.
No offense, those guys are not vibes. Women like vibes.
That's the point. That's the point. They don't want them. So what I'm saying is, if your priority is vibes, you know how you just say women like vibes?
We like vibes.
It's a priority for you is vibes. It's not a guy that's going to treat you right. It's not a guy that's going to make you happy. It's not a guy that's going to take care of your kids. And you go for the vibes. Do you think that this guy that you rejected, when he makes it, you should come pick somebody that already have kids started her life already?
No, the thing is, women, we like what we hear, right? Those guys with women around, right? When he comes, right, what he will even say, you fall for it quick. We like what we hear. The guys that are nerds.
Okay, so if you like, when are you women gonna realize that not all that glitters are gold? When are you gonna realize that? Because I'm telling you, there are so many. I know this woman that even on the day that she was getting married, he was fighting with the husband to be for infidelity. and still went ahead and get married to this man on the day of their marriage.
And she still married
And she
him.
still, a lot of them, and still married them. How many of the young girls that you know are now with men who are already married? How many
That's
of
what
them?
I'm saying. If
And the single ones are there.
the single one that you keep saying they're there, where are they? Every time you say it,
How many? Okay, you go to church. You know, when you go to church, we count the people. How many women do you count normally, and how many men do you count normally?
I don't count.
No, I'm not saying you count. They announce it at church. When you all go to church, they
There
count
are
and
more
say
women than
this,
men, though.
there are more. I know that, but actually, normally they will say, "Oh, 122
Oh, we don't do
women."
that at my church.
They'll probably. I'm saying the normal number because I've been to church before. They will tell you that 122 women, it be 62 men, and 87 kids.
87 kids. That was double.
You know, they will say this kind of things. I'm telling you, 50% of these men that are in the church that was just announced don't have any woman in their lives. Opa, check these numbers that I'm talking about. When you go to church, just do a case study. Like, do a case study, a check.
I think, honestly, I feel like women of our society, I can only speak on it. I have a little sister now who's joining the dating scene. And I feel like one of the things that I'm seeing is that they want men to approach, right? These days, I'll be honest, I think we had Eunice on the show, and she said the men are not approaching. These married...
The men that she wants.
No.
It's the men
no,
that...
in general. I'll be honest.
What do you mean by men
you
are not
said
approaching?
it the other time.
If men are not approaching, how are women getting sex all the time?
Wait, let me show you
Men
how
are
it is.
approaching. The men that you want is one's not approaching. Men are always approaching. Men are... every woman have a specific man that will do everything for them in their lives. Every woman in this world have a specific man who will do everything they want for them. Why you think they are doing that? You think they don't like you? Why you think they are doing all those things for you?
Okay.
You have men that you've put in your mind
We
that this
want
is what
verbal.
we want.
We want the men to be... No, these married men, they come aggressive. Let me tell you something. I can speak on it. I can count about 4 married men in Columbus, right, who are prominent on my case. Recently, I had to tell one, listen, it's either you stop or I'm going to tell your wife. Let me tell you something. These married men are aggressive. They will sell everything to hand it to you. Do you get what I'm saying? These single men these days, it's like, me pay, that type of vibe. I want her, I don't want her. I want her, I don't want her. I can't force you to want it. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
That is the reason why these girls feel like the men are not approaching, because the men are no longer talking. But the married men are aggressive. They show you that
Because they don't have anything. They just want to...
all I'm saying is the reason why these girls are falling for these men is because they are the ones approaching.
So I have a message for you.
Who is it? Don't say it's Kwame Mike.
Kwame Mike said
I'm blocking you.
They are there. You don't like them because they don't know how to vibe.
They don't vibe.
Partly because they are busy building their future.
Okay.
When they approach, they hit them with harassment.
That one is true. Lately, they be hitting with...
What I'm trying to say is I want you to look into your life. Look into your friends, females that you know. There's always one particular guy. They're always there doing everything that they request. What do you think these guys are doing all this?
I want one.
What do you think these guys are doing
They
all
want
this?
you.
How do you want this to be said to you? Come on, how loud do you want?
I
know this woman, right?
Okay.
Go ahead.
You also have to think about culture. Like, kids raised here.
Right.
And kids raised in Ghana.
Right.
We raised here are raised on verbal. And that's one of the things that I have noticed. We raised here are raised on verbal, and people raised in Ghana we're raised on verbal and action. And the women in Ghana, like the Ghanaian women in Ghana, are raised on some action, right? It's like they don't. How do I put it? I was having a conversation with my cousin, perfect one, and I was telling her about a situation that I'm dealing with, right? And she was saying, oh, but then if this and this and this, if you add 1 or 2, 3, it means this is what it means. And I was like, for me, I can't do that until I am told this. Does it make sense?
It doesn't, because
I think culture
what
plays a
what
part.
you are saying makes sense, but at the end of the day,
Culture makes no.
You know why I'm saying that? Because as a human being, you have 5 senses. you cannot choose to use some part of the sense and leave the other ones.
Okay.
That's my answer.
Not really.
That's my answer. Because there are gonna be some times that not everything can be said to you.
You can't express how you feel about a person.
Mpanyinfoɔ sɛ wowɔ hɔ a na wate anibɔ obi bɔ n'ani sɛ wohunu deɛ ɔpɛ sɛ ɔkyerɛ. You have to understand that. If you cannot pick on these simple clues.
Are you a mind reader?
No, I'm not. But sometimes, let me tell you this. Sometimes when you are not into something, right? It could be right in front. They will be telling you and you will still not hear it because your mind is not there. You got to understand that the mind is what listens.
Women are not mind readers as men are not mind
readers.
No.
I'm not saying you have to be mind readers. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they are, okay, I could like you, right? I could be telling you I like you. But because your mind is not on me, you are not even seeing my presence. You are not seeing there's a guy in front of you telling you they like you. That is the problem with women. It's not about how do I even put it so it does sound arrogant? It's not even about somebody not liking you or liking you. It's about recognizing your space, the space that you are in. There's a lot of men that try to get your attention all the time and you block
that
them.
one is true.
A lot of men.
I brothers own them.
Yeah, there's a lot of men trying to come in. You block them. They trying to come in. You block them. What do you want them to do? When they keep coming, you hit them with harassment. How you want them to do?
Okay. All I am saying is to prevent women from making the wrong decision. Yes, women also, we have to open our eyes and make the right decision. I think where you are raised and the culture that you're raised around does play a part into it. For me personally, I feel like, yes, how I was raised, there are some men that I would normally maybe you fall for, but you have to advise yourself, okay, no, I deserve this, and that. And it all boils down to also knowing yourself. Honestly, I think we say this on the show enough, like knowing yourself. If you don't know who you are, then you fall for everything.
Of course.
But when you know who you are, you don't fall for anything. You are, you're strategic about certain things that you do. I feel like a lot of these women do not know who they are, so they fall for everything.
Right.
And I feel like, and I will go back to the Bob the Builder statement. So many women feel like they can change men. I think I heard a statement some years ago. It's like, oh, if you have a baby for him, they will marry you. I've heard that statement before.
I've heard it several times. So that's the same thing that I said. Even if it's not going to I'm just going to have a baby.
I've heard that statement. I heard a guy say, we won't marry the girl until they get pregnant for us.
Right.
Which is normal.
Yeah.
Right now in Columbus, it has become what I hear, it's become very common. It's like they have to impregnate you before they marry you. So if, let's say you're talking about, if you get pregnant, if you have a baby, they shouldn't marry you. What if you as a woman, I'm in a relationship with you, and you tell me, okay, babe, I want to make sure that you're pregnant. Let's get pregnant first. Then we get married, right? And then you get pregnant, and then you're put in a situation of born one because this man no longer wants you.
Right.
In this situation, the woman deserves a chance. I know you say it's a dumb decision, but I feel like it's our community right now. So
the woman do not. Once again, I don't want to sound arrogant.
Of course.
The woman doesn't deserve anything.
Our community.
How can a man come to you and tell you that let's get pregnant before I marry you?
We hear it all. I've heard mother-in-laws tell their daughter-in-laws that.
Let me tell you this. How on earth can a man come to you and say, let me get fertile? You know why? Because they don't trust your lifestyle. Anybody that doubts you is the person that was evidence from you.
No, what does
when I come to you.
What does me having getting pregnant
Hold on. From a man's point of view, why would a man all of a sudden say, I want, not even to say all of a sudden, why would a man say that I want to be with you, but it's only when you can have a child? Women naturally can have children. Naturally, women can have children. There are extreme cases where women cannot have children. And even the ratio is not that big. That somebody get married and the woman cannot have a child. It's not big, right? And most of these situations is fixable.
Of course.
Why would a man come to a woman and say, I want to marry you, but only when you can give me a child first?
Okay. I mean, nobody can.
It means
that.
Why wouldn't they be able to say that
to
you?
Better.
That's the point. So if you are with a man that is going to tell you, it means one, the man doesn't value you. It means the man even think you are stupid for even being able to say that to you.
Okay, but I'm asking based on what if it's like right now it has become a common
It doesn't
thing.
matter whether it's a common thing or it's not a common thing.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. There are still women that men cannot go and say that to.
Yeah.
So you have to place yourself right. You have to do things right. If you are everywhere, and I keep saying this, and women disagree with me. Most men don't like that type of women. Every concert they are there. Most men don't like that. Let me tell you this. You know when men see these females, most men will not talk about it, especially on camera. But let me tell you this. When men see females on Instagram with backpacks, luggages, traveling every other weekend,
Why not sponsor?
that is the man's question.
But can I? But
That's the
not
man's
fair.
question. Life is not fair.
No,
Jazz.
Kumasi. What if nobody's sponsoring and I can afford to travel? No, like
women naturally. Women are wired to be taken care of.
okay.
A lot of women can buy stuff for themselves. Yes. Why do you think they still expect men to
I
do
want
certain
my
things
man
for?
to buy it.
Why? Why you think so?
It's cute.
It's not. That's how women are wired. It is only. It's only a man who is not smart that do not understand this. Women naturally expect men to take care of them.
Of course.
If you are a young woman that is traveling every other weekend, this weekend you were in Las Vegas, the next weekend you were in Putin Bay, the next weekend you are in
Miami,
the next weekend
Puerto
you are
Rico.
in Dubai, Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow. You are killing my dream right now.
I'm telling you, I'm not saying don't do it.
You're killing my happiness
I'm not saying
right now.
I'm not saying don't travel, but the way you guys are flaunting what you are doing. It's informing the decision of if I'm coming to you in my mindset, I think somebody is paying. And no man will be paying for this without sleeping with you. And it may not be the same man. That is the man's view. So what happens is, and when we say this, women say, oh, men have fragile ego. It's not fragile egos.
Yeah.
It's our preference.
Because why would you make an assumption? Like, okay, I think you and I spoke behind the scene and I said I want to start traveling, right? And because I feel like that's where I am, right? Why would you sit somewhere and make the assumption that a man is sponsoring it when maybe I have worked, like me saying I wanted to travel, I have sat down, I have calculated, okay, I work, this amount will go here. I have done the math myself. Nobody's sponsoring it. So why would you sit somewhere and make an assumption that somebody's paying it without actually knowing maybe she's putting double our work and she's taking care of it?
Life is about assumptions. So most of the decisions that we make, we don't verify before we assume. When I'm going to come to you and marry you, I assume that you're going to make my life better. That's why I married you. Life is most of the decisions that we make. It's about assumptions because you have not tried and tested it. So how are you going to see it's legit? We are all wired that way. You can say whether it is fair or it is not fair.
I feel like it's not.
Life is not about fair and what is not fair. Do you think it is fair that there's a kid that don't have water to drink and there's one kid that is swimming in water, even though they are not fishes? You think that is fair? It's not. Some people cannot get water to drink, but yet they are getting water to clean their. Other people are getting water to clean their cars. Do you think it's fair? It's not fair. Life is not fair. Every person makes decisions that they think will benefit them. If I'm gonna carry you on as a when most men marry women, they carry the women on to basically take care of them, break their back for these women. If I'm gonna break my back for you, I have to make sure that I'm making the right decision. That the person that I'm gonna break my back for is a worthy one. I'm not just gonna pick anybody because I want to break my back for somebody. It has to be a worthy one. So men naturally will sit down. They won't tell you. Men wouldn't say it. Did we have a comment?
Yes. The trips are a must. Yes, we will go. Thank you, girl.
You don't have a problem.
We are going. We are going.
So the way that we see things are fairly different from how you all
I feel
see
like then
things.
it makes it hard for us to live life. No, I feel like for me.
You think living life is traveling every other weekend? Being in every single show?
No, not even. I'm not talking about me. You know me. I'm not a club person.
No. I'm not. We are not talking
But
about
what
you. We are
if
talking
for
about
me? Because for me right now, it's like I want to explore God's creation, and I want to attach that to my business, right?
Okay.
So that is where I am seeing the travel from.
Then when you are coming, come with receipt.
What do you mean come with receipts?
I'm being honest with you. When you are coming, come with receipts.
So when I see my man, I'm like, sir, this is the receipt. It was for business.
When you are coming, look. So let's say Nanama McBrown or Hosisia. So Nanama McBrown a 2 we know what she does. That's a receipt.
Oh, then I guess I know what I do.
You know,
I'll carry
you
on
cannot
that
tell
matters.
me that you work at. I don't want to use any place, but man, sit down. We sit down. Like if I work with you, I may know how much you make. You know, and I'm seeing you every other week traveling back and forth.
Because I budget properly, then you don't.
Well,
Do you get what I mean? I could budget properly. That
men don't. Men don't. You can explain that.
I'm sorry that you don't budget properly.
Bro,
so
you can explain, but men don't.
Then
Women naturally want men to.
mind.
Women naturally want men to do things for them.
I understand.
No woman will be going and paying $1,000, $2,000 every other week just to travel. When somebody is not sponsoring, especially even if it is work, they will still want to have a certain form of sponsor to do that.
I understand, but because I budget properly, I can live a certain lifestyle that you will make an assumption that a man paid for it, right?
Yeah,
but that's not the situation.
Oh, yeah,
it's just
yeah.
because I'm good at budgeting, I'm good at calculating properly, so that it looks like somebody's taking care of things.
How many times in a year do you think a woman can travel that it wouldn't look like she's doing more?
What do you mean? She wouldn't.
You know how I'm saying that every other week this woman is traveling.
Yeah, every other week is a problem.
Sometimes first class.
That one there's a problem.
And even most of the time, the girls on Instagram, it's first class. It doesn't even matter. Say, the fact that that is what you are portraying, you are sending wrong signals to.
You guys are the thing is, you guys are making assumptions that does not. Maybe I make good money.
Okay.
Maybe I have connections. I know somebody that flies everywhere first class. A girlfriend drives everywhere first class. No, she has a connection. She does part-time with
Does she put it on social media?
Yeah, she actually posted. Benny.
Yeah.
She actually does
Is she
part-time.
married?
She's not married. Let me explain.
Tell her she needs to slow it down.
Let me explain what she does. She works part-time with the airline. So she gets a lot of these tickets on a cheaper level.
Right, I understand
you
that.
sitting somewhere and making an assumption that, oh, maybe a man is... She's putting in double at work. So she's able to afford it. I was even planning on getting a part-time that will afford my trips that I'm planning on going on. Not every other weekend, but like at least, you get what I'm saying? So you sitting somewhere as a man that maybe you're interested in this woman and making an assumption that, oh, because she's traveling all the time, first class, or she's out here eating, or she's doing this, there's a man sponsoring it. Sometimes it may be just my hard work.
Is the man wrong for thinking that way?
Yes.
Don't we have a lot of females around where men are sponsoring their lifestyles?
I get because
hold
10
on,
people are doing it does not mean I'm doing it.
I'm not saying nothing is 100%. But does this man have any right to start thinking?
I don't think
Shay,
you have
when I
the
was a
right.
kid-
So it's like me judging
when I was
every
a
man
kid-
the same way
when I
because
was a
somebody
kid-
cheated.
When I was a kid, my grandfather told me something. I said, Kwame, de why you no? Undam krumni pamo kromfo. Yebeka sa oye kromfo. When you see night workers, they have a certain lifestyle, a way of doing things, way of dressing, you could see this person. You cannot tell me, oh, I'm not a night, I'm just using that as an example. I'm not a night worker, but I prefer to dress like that. It's the choices of the way that we are doing things, women are doing things. You cannot expect that you're going to live a specific lifestyle and expect the man to, oh, I'm going to investigate to see whether it's in the money and I say in the money. Men do not have that
That's
time.
making assumptions.
But we make assumptions every day.
So then okay, I get
Our
it.
life is
so
full
then
of
when I see a
assumptions.
man driving, right now we can say that the guy
If
driving...
you know a man that works at, let's say makes a 50,000 a year, probably have a kid. And this man, today you see the man driving S-Class, the next day the man is driving Range Rover, the next day the man is driving this. How wouldn't you say that? How's this man able to afford all this kind
So
of
it's
lifestyle?
a conversation that you have with the
Have
person.
who?
You don't just sit
Like
and
a
make an
woman,
assumption.
like a woman that I have seen that I may have interest in. I have to go have a conversation.
Come on, say,
How this- I
okay.
immediately erase that woman from my life
That's a
and I move
problem.
on.
That is
Problem
a
for
problem.
who? You.
Come on, say.
If you want to be bought, You have to place yourself right.
If I'm placing myself, I get where you're coming from. Please read I think Mike has put a few comments. I get where you're coming from, Okumase. But if you make the assumption, maybe I work hard. You don't know what I do.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
Maybe you don't, maybe you know, oh, she works 9 to 5, let's say, all that matters.
Yeah,
revolves.
of course.
But you don't know, maybe after 9 to 5, 6 to 10, she's doing that, she's working here.
I understand.
But if you sit out and make an assumption, so today if I go buy a Tesla right
what
now.
What I'm saying is, most of the decisions that we make is based on.
It's not right. Then it's not right.
The first time that you use an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
The first time you bought an iPhone, it was based on assumption that this phone can do this for you, can do this for you, can do this for you. Yeah. You went ahead and take your hard-earned money and bought it.
Yeah. You
didn't go test the thing first before you bought it. You bought it based on assumption.
I tested the camera first before I bought it.
How do you?
I went to Apple and tested
that
the
is
camera
different.
out.
That is different. Okay. That is different. When you go and stand on to the store and then use it for 5 minutes, it's different. I'm talking about actually testing it to know whether the validity of it. That is different. It doesn't work. When you are going to buy a car, they give the car to you for 20 minutes. Oh, drive it around. The moment you take the car to your house, you drive it for 2 days. That's where you see all the problems that the car has.
I understand. But
you can't check that. So everything we do is based on assumptions. So the fact that you are looking at it like, oh, we should be able to look at it from a different perspective, maybe. Nobody goes sit down and think maybe.
Sometimes I understand where you're coming from 100%. Well, okay, Kwame Mike said something. But I understand what you mean 100%. Okay, I hear you. But I feel like I want to use that in person. I had somebody actually come to me and they wanted to be friends, I think, at my program. And she said, "You're very cool." I thought so. And I didn't understand. I was like, why do I, so I even told Cynthia about it. And Cynthia's like, the way you carry yourself, a person will have that notion about you until they actually get to know you. Then they realize, oh, you're really cool.
But how many men will actually get it?
That is what I'm saying. We make this assumption about people. Maybe that's not me personally. Sometimes, let's say if I go somewhere and like my close people are not there, how I'll even sit there with my face, you would think, say, oh, this girl is mean. But maybe that's not what my people are not here.
Kwame Mike's a relationship project, though. Relationship project. So, falling in love is a choice. It's not fair for a man to marry a woman with kids. They are there. You don't. Oh, we've read all this.
We've read that part too. Culture has nothing. When I was talking about culture,
okay, culture has nothing to do with avoiding toxic guys, identifying red flags, and see a potential in a good guy building the future. They should go into the skull.
Kwame, stop it.
They put more importance on sexual attraction. Oh yeah, of course. They don't think they can change. They are with these guys because other girls or ladies like them. Oh, thank you, my brother.
Nah.
They are trying to prove a point to their peers. That's all it is. Kwame Mike says it doesn't matter. Men should be allowed to have perspective of what they are saying. If you want to be married, the Bible says you need to be a wife. So that the man can find it.
What has me being a wife got to do with me traveling? Kwame Mike, please explain that. No, Kumasi, let's not do that.
Which one are you talking about?
If me being a wife, if me traveling the world does not make me a wife, then that's a problem.
That's not what I'm saying. You traveling the wife. What I'm saying is, if you, like a man, right? Mm-hmm. You know how most people think somebody works? You don't know me, right? Mm-hmm. How do you know that this guy works? How would you know?
I wouldn't know.
Okay. So when you see me normally every day on social media, right? Posting stuff, making fun, and getting into unnecessary arguments on social media.
I'm like, don't you have a job?
That's what you say.
Yeah, that's normal. That's my first reaction. Don't you have a job?
This guy have a job. That's what you're going to say. It's my behavior that is making you feel like I'm not working.
Perfect. I have an example.
Go ahead.
What if I travel for work?
What do you mean you travel for work?
There are jobs that people travel for work.
Yeah.
So what if I travel for work,
then
but you sitting there make the assumption? Hold on.
You do not turn your job into a fanfare. This is what these women are doing. Who is going to go to work? You're going to work, right? Have you seen any businesswoman going to work, going to a work meeting on social media with bags, like 4 or 5 bags like this? and taking all these
Maybe
stupid
they're going
photos.
to work, but
Photos they've been taking.
yeah, maybe
You
I'm going
cannot-
to work,
you see,
but
it's-
I'm on a
and
trip,
that's
so
why,
hey.
and that's why there's even a culture around.
It's called
work.
work and fun.
No, there's something called a work culture.
Okay.
There are certain behaviors that you cannot exhibit when you are working. You cannot tell me. You can tell the girls that post photos that you know they are going to work, and you can tell the ones that they are just having fun.
Do you know how I'm
Do
going
you-
to
can you
solve
tell?
it? I wear suits. No.
What I'm trying to say, no.
I found a way. What I'll do is I'll wear suits, right? And wear my heels, and I'll take a picture and post it. Trip for Revolt Media. So I'm going on my own vacation.
What I'm trying to say is, it's not to say women shouldn't do what, but if women are going to deal with men, they have to also understand the thinking faculty of men. How we make our decisions are different.
Then
That's
men
what
should think also and change their mindset around
to fit a
women.
woman. Men should change their mindset to fit. Are women changing their mindset to fit men?
We are.
Are women changing their preference to fit men?
We are. We really are.
No, women are. Women
I-
are not.
We are. I
Women
can
are
say
not.
we are.
It is easier for a woman to tell a man that, man, you are broke, I can't be with you, get your money up. Easier for women to say that. Do they
if
do
you are
that?
broke, what business do you have?
That's the point. I want status. Why should I be?
And that's why you don't have
Why,
job.
I want
the jobless ones.
Okay, it's the same thing. I respect that. Women have their preference. Me, my preference, I want somebody that's gonna reflect me right. I don't want any woman that's traveling in and out every day.
I'm traveling for work.
Good for you.
Me, I'm telling you right now, I'm about to post that I'm traveling. I'm traveling for Revolt. Hey, you people regret
good for
it.
you. That is how we think.
And if I post it, you comment, what work are you going to? I'll block you. Especially.
You can decide to block me, but when you make all these choices and it bring kids in, don't expect a man to marry you because out of and a lot of and you know that most women that have kids already are the ones that are being abused in relationships.
Because they have to settle.
You have to settle.
You have to settle.
You have to settle.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't help men. It mess with women too.
So then it creates these crazy, lack of better words, crazy kids in
Yes.
our community.
Because what you do, you end up doing is you follow this guy that you know in your mind, in your heart that this guy is not going to want you. Have kids for this man. And then boom, now another man, you get to a point in time as a woman, you would need a man in your life. Then you don't have a choice than to settle for somebody in the normal circumstance you wouldn't be with.
Never settle.
Then you are with this guy. This guy have no respect for you. Why doesn't he have no respect for you? Because you are a rejected person. That's why the men don't have no respect for you.
I thought y'all men treat us like we are products.
No, we don't.
No disrespect.
No, we don't. We don't treat you. We don't treat you.
Like,
but what I'm saying
like
is,
the person's used goods.
we are in our lives. Our priorities as men. Most men will not say it, but I'm telling you, our priorities as men is status. That's what men want. You think the man that want to land on the moon? You think they just want to land on the moon? It's status. He's the man that landed on the moon.
Yeah.
The man that. Why you think men can decide in their whole life? They are not even gonna get married. They're not gonna do this. They are only gonna focus on something and invent something. Why you think men dedicate their life at that level? Why you think men do that? Status. Everything that a man is looking for in this life is status. So what men try to do is not to allow anything to affect their status. So if you are a woman and then so let's think about it this way. I'm gonna marry you. I see you. Beautiful woman. I want to marry you. You have 3 kids already. And I find out it's producer. Producer have 3 kids with you. I'm a man. Nah, this is, most men cannot make that decision. Not because they don't like you. They like you. But because the fact that their status has been affected. This guy. This is the guy that have 3 kids. Oh, spiritual level of God. That's how men think. You can think any way. You can see it any way. You can put it in any way that you want to put it. But that's how men think. And that's why when men get women that they know that will reflect them well, they work hard, they break their back for them to enjoy life.
So now we know. So if you don't break your back first, then you know you don't want us.
We do.
No, I'm just saying.
Men that's
if a man wants,
you know how I tell you this all the time, that men naturally don't care about themselves. How many times men don't buy new things and they are buying stuff for their wife every day? Why men don't care? Why are men not saying, oh, you bought this today, I have to also buy this? We don't do that because we know that anytime you look good, you reflect me. That's the thinking of a man. So anything that will reflect him bad, they want to stop it. That's how we think. That is how our thinking and our being has ever been. So if you go bring kids in, so most men will not marry a woman. Most men that marry a woman with kids are those that have kids already. Even those that have kids sometimes will even say, I don't want to
prefer
with
one
kids.
without, and I'm like looking at them like,
Yes.
say you have 3 kids.
Yeah, it's a
One friend of mine, that's how he is right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have 3 kids from 2 different women.
And still doesn't want to marry a woman with kids, right?
I'm like, how? Why?
Yeah. So I'm trying to. So these things that I keep saying, I don't say them to demean or anything. I want women to kind of look at the realities. Yo, married a woman with kids already. It's a bad day. What did he say again?
I'm blocking him.
Men need assurance, and assurances are based on assumptions. Then the possibilities are drawn. Her traveling a lot will spark conversations among her girlfriends. How much more a man? Does he have a point? When you travel all the time, every other week, first class, Louis Vuitton bags, Gucci bags, traveling by a man and all that, traveling every other week.
I can afford it. I'm sorry.
No, you can afford it. But what he's saying is, in your friends, you think it's gonna spark a conversation, that lifestyle?
Well, then maybe your friends.
No. I'm asking. It's not about maybe. Do you think it's possible?
In all honesty, yes, it will spark a conversation. Yeah. And
so even if your own friends are not, but why you think a man should?
I'm just saying. Okay, what if all my friends are very well, or we are all traveling together? So let's say every other weekend is girls' trip. Would that be a problem?
But any woman that would want to focus on a girls' trip doesn't even deserve to be with any man anyway. Your focus in life is every other weekend we are going on a girls' trip. You want to be married?
Let me ask a question. Okay, we're going on a trip. Maybe we work very hard. We need to relax.
Every other weekend? You need a vacation. You want me to marry a woman?
So how many times a year? Let me ask you this question as a man. A man watching from afar. How many times a year would you say a woman deserves a vacation? Let's say a woman. Maybe I'm me. Okay, I'll use myself. I'm single. I'm not married. How many times a year will me traveling be okay? Will you be okay if I travel? Let me ask this question before I ask what I'm about to ask. Will you be okay if I travel and I don't post it and nobody knows I just travel? Yes or no? It will be okay.
Like if you are my partner?
No, I'm single and I'm traveling. Nobody.
But I don't know. I don't know whether you travel or not.
So that's perfect. Okay,
but I'm not saying no. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying
yes already.
No, I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm saying I do not know.
So if you don't know, then you don't know.
I don't know. But if I come in a relationship with you, I will know.
Okay, good. Let's put that on the side. How many times a year? We have 12 months in the year.
Right.
How many times a year will it be okay for me as a single woman to travel?
How many times in a year does your work give you vacation?
What if you work for yourself?
Okay.
Like
you working for yourself?
Yeah.
How many times in a year do you think you should leave your job and go vacation?
Don't flip it. I'm asking you.
No, but the point is,
I'm asking you as a man
answer.
watching from afar.
You know the answer already.
I don't. How many times will you think it's okay? How many times a year out of the 12 months would you think it's okay for me to travel?
Out of the 12 months, so I could put it into categories. Out of a 12 months, if you are less than 30 years, you shouldn't travel. You shouldn't travel over 40 hours, like working days, 5 working days. You shouldn't travel more than 5 working days if you are less than 30 years.
Why? What is your reason behind it?
Why? Because most of the jobs that you have, if you have a job, if you were working for somebody.
What if you work? You know how now people can work from anywhere.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yo, you have to treat, even if you work, let me say you work for yourself. Even if you work for yourself, you have to treat your business as a job.
Of course.
If you the manager, that's why owners of the job, they don't take vacations as workers. The more you have more responsibility, the more your vacation goes down. Do you know that? That the more you run a business, how many times you think Tim Cook goes on vacation?
The weekend is there 2 days out of the. What if I travel once a month on a weekend? It's a problem. Oh no, I really want to. I'm asking for all my single girls who want to travel.
I'm just telling you what I can tell you is I'm not a woman, right? I'm a man. I'm gonna give you the perspective of how men see things, the spectacle that men wear, because you are gonna deal with men, unless maybe you go the other way.
I'm thinking about.
Yeah, but if you are going to deal with men, I'm telling you how men look at things. That's what I'm telling you. You are telling me that it should be okay for a woman to travel 26 times in a year. In the men, it's not even about the men also looking at the financial repercussion of that behavior. Men are not only because when a woman is going to travel all the other time, oh, they want to change their bags, they want to change this. There's so many costs that comes with that kind of lifestyle. It's not just that you are going to even reflect them bad or not only that. There's so many costs that's going to come with that lifestyle. Why would you think a man should choose that? So what I'm saying is, all this traveling, before most people didn't even like to travel. All this travel is because of the social media. That's making more females feel like, oh, we have to travel.
You don't think when you travel, it gives you a different perspective of life?
If you are going to go there for 2 days, 1 day.
I remember, I'll use the perfect example. When I went to Atlanta, right? I went to Atlanta for a weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And where we stayed at my cousins, they live in the I would say a golf neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a weekend, and I met a young guy. I think at the time I was 25, and the young man was, I think, 19, 20. And he was going on a walk when we met. He was asking, oh, so do you live here, yada, yada. And I was like, no. And I thought maybe he lived there with his parents. He was like, oh, no, that's my house. And this is a young man, 19, 20. And this is not a house that I would say is like 300,000 house. This is like almost $1 million house. And I started talking to him, and he was telling me what he does and his business and everything. And I remember when I came back to Columbus, it changed my perspective on what I desired. That was when I started going.
You think it's the traveling?
No, I'm using this as an example. That was when I started going as hard as I could for myself.
Right.
Because if I didn't travel, I think I would have settled for certain things.
You think
I feel like sometimes traveling and experiencing different cultures gives you a certain perspective.
There's difference between traveling and migration. You are talking about migration. I'm talking about traveling.
I traveled. I was there for a trip.
Okay. How long were you there?
I was there for just a weekend. I was just there
so that is now basic. Okay.
So it's okay if I travel for a weekend.
That's not what I'm saying. The example that you just gave, just gave, is what I'm talking about. You are looking at, you get exposure. Yes. You don't get exposure in. Okay, so let's say I'm from Africa. I traveled to America. I came to a system. I migrated here, and that system has given me exposure.
I was in Columbus, and I went to Atlanta.
And then you went to Atlanta for Columbus and Atlanta's economy. What's the difference? There's nothing different between Columbus.
That's what I'm saying. But then it gave me a whole different
so what
view and perspective.
What is the difference between Atlanta and Columbus?
Nothing.
So
if I get up and I travel and I'm going to New York for the weekend.
So what makes you think that you're going to get a different perspective by traveling to
you'll be
Atlanta when everything is the same as?
I'm telling you that sometimes leaving where you live and moving to somewhere, taking a break somewhere else, I think sometimes it gives you a different perspective.
So you are telling me that, okay, you can go right now, right? You can go to Marysville right now. It's just 30 minutes from here. And you get a different perspective.
Of course.
Why do you always
It could be a getaway as well.
Exceptional situations.
What if it's not an exceptional?
It is exceptional. You are trying to use.
Because there are people that live in Columbus, and on the weekend, they will leave their house and go stay at a hotel. Just a weekend to de-stress, whatever.
But how does that got to do with traveling?
But then if I post it on social media right now, it is a trip. Because if I go post it right now, you will say, "Oh, this weekend she's at a hotel."
No.
What is your business?
No, that's not what we are saying. We are saying when it is a lifestyle, it's a repetitive thing. It's not like, 1 year I went to, so let's say me and my wife go to
that's different.
Let's say I went to a vacation by myself and I just posted the whole year. I posted this.
That one is
we are talking about somebody posting every other week.
What if every other weekend I decide to go stay downtown hotel, St. Joseph? That's the hotel I want somebody, I want to go stay at. I go stay at La St. Joseph just to relax. Would you? And I post it every other weekend. Maybe I leave my house and go somewhere else. Y'all see something wrong with that?
I already told you how we look at things.
Kwame Mike needs to be stopped.
What he said?
He said exceptional examples.
Oh, yeah.
Too many girl strips lead to the other way.
Go ahead.
Too many girl strips lead to the other way. What does he mean lead the other way?
Too many girls trips.
He said it leads to the other way.
The
What
other
does
way,
it
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You
A
mean?
lot, when we no.
Oh.
But look at it. Let's be honest with ourselves. Most of the stuff that happens between girls and then when they start fighting, it's all coming. It's because of these trips. When women go outside their comfort zone, that's where they feel like they can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And then women keep doing this. That's why he's saying that it's this kind of trips that fancy that behavior, that encourage that behavior. We can just go somewhere and do whatever we want to do because nobody knows us over here. It goes the other way. And then boom, one of your friends end up taking a photo of you without even knowing. And then when they have a problem with you, boom, it's on social media.
Of course. Choose your friends wisely. How about that? I feel like that's the problem. You're not choosing the right friends. That's it.
So like good friends don't even have problems.
We do have problems, but not like,
as I'm saying,
if you choose the wrong friends.
There's a fine line between love and hate. It's very thin. That line is very thin. It's between love and hate.
That's true. Anything.
There are certain things that we can actually avoid ourselves. It's like a young girl. It's like somebody who is married, right? Like you right now. If you have, let's say, 5 friends, and all your 5 friends are married, and you are the only person that's not married, anywhere you guys are going somewhere, you are in this group, it's hard for men to even approach you.
Now I know what I'm saying.
Because you are stuck in this.
Hold on.
You have to be around single people.
I'm changing all my friends.
If you are a married woman.
Really? Sorry, no, this is all honest. This is like a real question.
Birds of the same feathers flock together. It's for a reason. If you are married, like me right now, I'm married, and I keep surrounding myself with all my friends are single guys. Every weekend, there's nobody that's around. You think my wife is gonna be okay with that?
Yeah, no.
Why wouldn't my wife be okay?
If all
with
your
that?
friends are cheaters and you are the only one, I also think you're a cheater.
But my friends are not even cheaters. My friends are not married. I have like 5 friends. All the people surrounding me are not married. How do you think my wife is gonna take that?
Because that's the
point.
Like I can't speak that in English.
That is the same thing.
No,
that's the same.
But I think we have found the solution to my singleness. I need to move all of you people from my life.
That is. And if you are, so let's say a woman is married, right? 5 girlfriends, they are not married. Now they want to have a girls trip. The married one want to go there. When they go there, they want to explore. Do you think it is right for a married woman to be in that
That
environment?
one day is not right.
Why don't you think it is right?
Because you're not married, and the temptations happens. As much as you're strong,
there are environments that you can take yourself out. There are situations that you can actually avoid it before it comes. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that. The reason why, society have made all these things to be nice, to be glamorous. And, females like glamorous stuff. Yeah. So they want that. But the reality, that glamour that you are going to have, it's not going to satisfy you for like 2 days. You could have that excitement. It's gone. But the effect of that excitement may be greater than. So that's why we always look through. Because I'm telling you, when you go, you get pregnant. Why do you think our parents keep advising us, get married before, settling with somebody? What's coming by?
I'm blocking one. He said, men don't care for vacations, right? They do it for their partners to be happy. It makes us feel masculine. It's called sacrifice. Yeah. You need to pay Kumasi for this session. No, Kumasi is fired.
Actually, you have to pay me.
No, you're fired after this.
Actually, you should.
This week's show is like you've been doing therapy sessions this whole week. I feel attacked.
I don't want you. I don't want you to get into a relationship where the guy already have kids.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And then you get in that relationship where you have your whole future and this guy already set up. So imagine everything that you build. When this guy is thinking, you got to put another case that you didn't make it.
It's not my portion.
Think about it.
It's not my portion.
Another case. It's not like you helping somebody is wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm thinking the hustle that you are going through, we're going to do this. We're going to make this happen. Those are even the first son and the second son or whatever. And then when it comes to him making decisions, he really have to. You know, a lot of men when they are making decisions, they consider the first child. And then you build this wealth and this man.
It is not my portion in Jesus' name. Sorry. I feel like I wouldn't do it.
You see, we can say that it's not a portion like you are saying. We have to make moves that will make that not happen. You understand? We cannot, and that's why me, if I knew what I know now, I would have moved my life differently.
Yes, we refuse and reject it. Amen. Yes, yes, brother. Preach.
Where is Kwame Micah? Is Kwame Mike in the US? He should come to this show.
I don't know who
I would love to sit with him.
Yes, preach, my brother.
It's just, I just look at so many things from a different perspective. I have seen it happen. How many times has somebody, haven't you seen a woman with 3 kids, 3 different baby daddies?
Yo, I don't understand. You couldn't settle with one?
Do you really think a man should marry this woman?
That one.
Do you really think a man should make that decision? You see how hard it is for you to even say that no? You see how hard? Why should it be hard for you?
3 times?
Why should it even be hard for you to say no?
I feel bad.
Why should you feel bad?
Because I think decision. The reason why I say I feel bad is, and maybe because maybe she picked wrongly. Maybe the first time, let's just say she picked wrong, right? The second time, maybe she has hope that marriage will happen. It didn't happen, and then it's like you.
So you the who will be a boom no anyam.
She's very fertile.
You know what it says about you?
Well,
management. Like you don't even have
you
a
can't.
management
Yeah,
skills.
that's a problem. Self-control. She doesn't have self-control.
You can manage anything. If you can't, so the moment that you feel like your mind tells you to do something, just get up and do it.
But Kumas, can I also say something? I feel like then, if you say that there's so many people who will be on contraceptives.
The problem that we are having in this generation is contraceptives.
What do you mean the problem? It's a problem.
The human problem. Whoever invented that thing is the cause of our problem.
Why?
Okay, so contraceptives. The moment that contraceptives came into the system, what happened? Promiscuity went up. Because now women feel like I can have sex anytime I want, and I have my birth control.
I feel like there's a bad notion around birth control as well. No offense. Not even no offense. Hold on, replace that. I feel like birth control can solve so many issues. There are medical reasons why people are on birth control. You know that, right? Not even just about preventing pregnancy.
No, educate me.
Okay, so I remember years ago, like, okay, if you have endometriosis, if you're a woman with endometriosis, there's certain things that monthly cycle that sometimes some women, the pain is, really severe. They put you on birth control. Or let's just say if
can we check the percentage of women that have this problem?
I can speak on it because I'm one of them. Like okay. Prior so many women. So many women.
What's the percentage?
That one I can't give. I can't honestly give.
Do you think like we can pass over 10% of women have that problem?
We can.
Think we got 20?
20, 30. Honestly.
40.
So many women deal with
what kind of problem is that? I need to research.
Because for me, I think one of the reasons they suggested birth control was because of I deal with painful, like I can't walk.
Co-op will fix it.
Huh?
Co-op will
what
fix
is
it.
co-op?
I will get you one.
Okay. No, but I'm saying some way. I always feel like people put this light on birth control, that birth control is bad. I feel like the reasoning behind you being on birth control is the problem. I feel like the reason, if you're there because you want
So why do we get birth control?
If you're on birth control because you want to sleep around and not get pregnant.
Why do we get birth control?
What do you mean?
Why do we even have birth control?
I just had one kid. I want to
control birth, right?
Perfect. Kumasi, do you want to have one kid and then the same year you have another kid?
What I'm saying is, before the natural way of controlling birth
Family
was abstinence.
What if you're married?
You abstain from sex.
When you're married?
If you don't want to, it's not even if you're married or if you're married, you can have kids. What I'm saying is, if you are not married, the primary way to
don't do it.
Don't do it. That's how you control birth.
Oh yeah.
Abstinence. Now, because of this birth control, women feel like we can do it anytime, whether safe, whether unsafe, and still use the primary. That's why our lifestyle have become very promiscuity. because we have some. Okay, so for a man, right, and it's not only for women, no, men too.
Okay, Kwame got us the number. Sorry. They made the same 3 times you can imagine. Was it 10% of women between 15 to 45? Yeah, deal with that issue. That's why.
So this is an exceptional case.
But
Just 10%
no,
of us.
15 to 44. No, yes.
But what I'm saying is that it's just 10% of us, of
Okay.
females.
Mhm.
10% of females between 15 to 44.
44.
It's just 10%. It's not like a 25, 35% where it's become a major problem. It's not a major problem.
So you feel like if we take the whole contraceptive out of the system, do you think contraceptives should only be provided to women who are married? Because let's say I get married, I have a kid.
One, I think if we are gonna, we shouldn't encourage a lifestyle that will make young people have sex.
So we should pause it to only women who are legally married. I support that.
I think it would have been nice.
I support that, and that's.
But you got to also look at it that it even come with a lot of side effects.
Except if you have a medical condition, so that's different.
What do you mean by except?
Like I said, it should be left with people who are married, except if you have a medical condition.
Because if any child can just get up, when you go to campuses,
right now,
we have condoms everywhere. We have.
Yeah, they put in.
When you do that, what are you telling? How are you indoctrinating these kids?
Right now, 15.
Before, when we go to school, we were to go to school to get educated, right? Now we go to school to get indoctrinated. Everybody goes to college and they come out, they're all liberals.
You said college, high school, not college, high school. I remember when I was in high school, I remember health class was when they started teaching about getting the shot, birth control shot. And I know so many people that did it. I was like, it's not my portion.
But you look at it. So you have 15-year-old kids having sex. What have you internalized in this child? They can have sex and they are fine. Be honest, will you want your 15-year-old daughter to be having sex?
No. I wouldn't, because you put yourself in an emotional
state. It's and say yes, life is different, and nobody want to be like that.
Should be a prescription drug, yeah.
I agree
it is a prescription drug, but right now it's easy to get it online.
Like, no, it's not even a prescription drug as of now.
Birth control is.
But when you go to after
oh, that one is not a birth control though. That is. It is a. It's not a birth.
Morning
that is a It's a form of contraceptive.
It's a birth control. It controls birth. It control you from getting pregnant.
Okay, the birth control I'm talking about is like the everyday pill, the IUDs, the next plan.
And then on contraceptives. Like I'm saying, women. The one that women buy, even right after sex, no more. Those ones are prescription drugs.
Then condoms also should be a problem.
That's the same thing I'm saying.
Okay.
That's the same thing I'm saying. That's the same thing. That's the problem that we do have. And it's our contraceptives nearby, They said condoms, female condom,
but
all
back
that.
in the day, they had family planning. Pull-out game is strong. I'm sorry. If you want to talk about
Plan B, yeah. That is
family planning. Back in the day, didn't you have family planning?
Yeah,
oh wait, I said didn't you make you look so old, but didn't your people have family planning?
Like what you say?
When I say family
planning that we had back in the days, don't do it.
No, the family plan I've heard is they know the woman's cycle, the safe and unsafe.
But the safe and unsafe, it doesn't work.
Down there does. It really doesn't.
The safe and unsafe.
Don't let them lie to you. Doesn't work.
The safe and unsafe.
All I'm saying is y'all still had it, which is you're very Asian.
So when we have those kind of system in place now, that is why we are behaving how we are behaving. I can just come sleep with you and just take this.
How much is Plan B? Hold on, sorry. I really want to know how much Plan B is.
That is the problem that we are having in this society that we are living in. So if we are sexualizing everything,
$50.
We are making women make these choices. We are making men, because a man can just get up and say, "Oh, take this," because I don't want to take responsibility. Before you sleep with a man, you know you're gonna have a responsibility by doing that. Before a woman opens her legs, she knows she's gonna have a responsibility for making that action. That's where society used to be. But now you want to do all these things, and then the man that you did it with doesn't want to marry you, and you want me to come take that responsibility.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Okay. I've heard the statement of, when you have a baby for him, he will change his mind. Does it work?
It's stupid.
You don't think some men change their mind after you have a baby for them?
No. Change their mind about what?
Okay. You see how they say a man becomes more responsible after they have a kid.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll use my friend who recently found out that the kid wasn't his.
Okay.
He was very irresponsible. Like if I say party all the weekend.
Mm.
Once he had a kid, they were not married, but once he had a kid, he became a very, like, what is it called, focused, responsible, because he wanted to build somebody, and he was even planning to marry the young lady until we found out, all of that. Somebody like this, he's the perfect example I can use, because after they had the baby, then his mind was, okay, I'll marry this girl. Before, it was just for fun, right? And it was like, once the kid came, okay, I'll marry this girl. A woman sitting aside somewhere, they'll feel like, okay, maybe I should have a baby, it would change their mind. Do you think a man's mind can be, I know you can't change the man, trust me, but do you think the man's perspective or mind can change after you get pregnant or have a child for them?
A man's view of things, how a man view things, can change.
Okay.
Like, I have a lot of respect for females after having my first child. Seeing the pain that my wife went through, looking at the whole process, was a life-changing one for me. You know why it does to men? It makes men stronger and have different view of things.
Okay.
It doesn't change.
So you don't think it would change a man?
People don't change.
No, you don't think it would change his, like you said, it changed your view. So
It makes me stronger. It makes me cherish what I have.
Okay.
It gives it was more of a perspective to me now. It was like the blinded perspective has been opened. Now I can see that perspective.
Okay.
I didn't change. I'm still who I am. I'm still who I am. You know, when older guys that do crazy stuff, even though they are older, they still do crazy stuff. Imagine when they were young.
Oh.
People naturally don't change. So if you think, if a young girl sitting somewhere and say, oh, this guy is treating the wife right, so I'm gonna, after the lady had a baby for him, so I'm gonna, maybe that person's priority is babies.
Oh.
If my priorities is babies and you can give me one, and especially the one that, oh, this beautiful kid, this is what I've always wanted. If my priorities are not babies, and you give me that kid with a forehead, oh, I'm gonna have a problem with you. Like, I'm just being honest,
Okay.
we are gonna have a big problem. It doesn't change anything.
Okay.
Why are you laughing?
I'm giving birth to only cute babies.
Yeah, it doesn't change anything. So don't just sit somewhere and say, oh, because this guy was with this person and then they got married, it means my situation will be the same. If people don't know, they don't like you, they don't like any. Haven't you seen? I know you have friends, you've been with women, and you girls talk. There's a man when you go to right after intercourse, they want you to leave.
I've had one. I knew one. I picked her up after she left the guy's house. I'm like, bro, he couldn't even drop you home or order you an Uber.
Yeah.
Was it that bad?
You know why?
That's what I said. Was it that bad?
You know why? That's all they need from you, and when it's done, it's done.
I'll say maybe pick right, because nobody would disrespect me like that. I'm so sorry.
If you wanna be respected, make good choices.
Yeah, you
make
can't
good
disrespect
decisions.
me
That's how
like
you get
that.
respect. Respect at end. If you want somebody to respect you, you do things in society to put you on that level to be respected.
Yeah.
If you go around being stupid around everybody, get drunk and everybody, how are you gonna get respect? How are you gonna demand people respect you? That's how it is. Don't expect anybody to change their mind. Me personally, my kids, I'm gonna tell them, nah, don't do it, bro.
Me personally, yeah.
Don't do it. It's gonna take your life back. Especially when you marry them and they are still minors and the father is in their life or their mother is in their lives.
Okay, what if death?
Oh, that is it.
She said in a case of death.
That is a different situation.
Okay.
That's why I always say that in any situation, there's always going to be an exception. This woman married, the husband get killed maybe they went to war to fight for the nation. They get killed. He get killed.
Got sick.
Got sick, died. Car accident. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Especially the military guys. They went to fight for our freedom.
Yeah.
And they died. That's why back in the day, our society take care of these women. They don't even get married again.
Yeah.
Osofo. Do you think so? Between our Osofo a year, Osofo we done a year. Between our
Or software with January. Yeah, why not?
So let's take it this way. If I say Osofo Akomea, look at Osofo Akomea, the stature that he has in this society.
You have shoes to fill.
You know, and then the wife, you find say, or a bear 34, 35, and then boom, something happened. God forbid. Osofo is going. You think you can marry? You think any man will feel confident marrying this woman?
You just got some shoes to fill, but I think you can.
It's not just the shoes that you are gonna fill. The fact that it is also for could be a year.
That woman will never be identified as your wife. Every time will
and that's
be
why
Akumia's
wife.
Yeah.
And that is
one.
why the status that men look for.
That would be a problem.
That woman will not marry again.
It's like Beyonce and Jay-Z. It's always going to be Jay-Z's wife.
His wife.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Sacrifice.
It has have situations that one of to buy the best sacrifice not to marry again. You want me to take a man who wants status in my society? You want me to go make that sacrifice because of so far?
Sorry.
You see, that's how it is. There are some of the situations that, you know, even though I strongly believe you shouldn't marry a woman with kids when, let's say,
yeah,
that is a different situation. That woman can be given a pass. But not the woman going around saying, woman. Then the guy didn't marry, then I want to go marry that woman. No, hell no. To the nana. And even when they are dead, when the guy is dead or the woman is dead, they don't come back to you again. You know what I'm saying? Most of the reason why women don't even want to do that is the baby mama issue.
Yes, that's the reason I don't. Yes,
it's the baby drama. So when the woman is dead,
that one, rest in peace. We're making this happen.
You know, nobody there to pollute the kid.
Like me, I would. No, wait, hold on. I would, but the number of kids matters. Even let's say you guys have 4 kids and your wife died. I'm so sorry for your loss, but I can't. That one, I still wouldn't, no matter what. If it was 1 or 2, but 4.
Yeah. So if you actually wanna, so let's say, look at how education in America right now is expensive. Look at how, like, if you looking at 100,000 for just a first degree.
Yeah.
You're looking at $100,000 for a first degree. You're not even guaranteed of a job after that, after all that hard. When you are able to do that, what do? You come back. And then let's say this woman have 3 kids. So you have to find 300,000. And then you have 2. Because you're not going to say because she has kids, I'm not going to have kids.
So you have 2.
You want to have your own.
That's
you have to, but you're looking at this. No, you see how your life will be drawn back.
In a year, how much
if you're going to do 2 jobs, now you're looking at you have to do 3 jobs to be able to take care of this family that you've inherited. Is this something you want to do?
I wouldn't personally.
Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Because this is 500,000.
That's the point.
And in a year, let's just say they make 50,000 a year. How much are you?
That's why we shouldn't just be going around having this kind of relationships and putting these kids in this kind of situation. It is wrong. Honestly, it is wrong for you to tell somebody to pay for what he didn't buy.
Yeah.
To pay for what he didn't crave.
Yeah.
It is wrong. You know? It is very wrong. And that's why sometimes when I sit on this show, I want to say things to females for them to understand that they give access to this.
Now you be hurting our feelings.
Yeah, it is good for
right
your feelings.
The moment somebody says the number 35, my heart is shaking. I'm like, calm down, please calm down.
It is good for your feeling to be hurt, to reset your brain.
Let's block Kwame, okay?
What did he say?
I'll say D for that man, Charlie. D for that man for me.
Kwame Mike, where is Kwame Mike at? I really would, if he's in America, I would like to get him on the show. So Jasmine, let's do our best as in young people in our society to make sure we don't make any unwanted kids. Not that our kids are not important. Kids are important.
Kids are a blessing.
They are blessings, but they can be a curse to you. If you have a child, it's not just going to be a curse. Your life is going to change. You are going to change the kid's life too, for no reason. You're going to put a kid in a situation that he didn't beg for.
But do you feel like there are situations where it works out?
Like how?
A person. It's Big Mike. I just found out. It's Big Mike.
Really?
It's Big
I
Mike.
never knew. Really?
It's Big
Why
Mike.
can't someone?
Why is he not? It's Big Mike. I went and did my 911.
Oh, okay.
Wait, if I had said something right
Yeah.
now, it would be problem.
Let's go. Let's go.
But yeah, what was Ivy saying again? Lately, my brain just goes off when I'm thinking about
You
stuff.
need to take fiber.
Fiber. I'm just tired. I work too much. Okay.
Anyway, if you don't remember,
Yeah.
it's Common Mike. Yeah, it's Big Mike. Yeah.
It's Big Mike.
So yeah, let's make right choices. You were asking if it can turn out right.
Oh yes. Will it work out?
Like how?
Like, let's say I have kids and I meet a great man who accepts. Do you think it will work out?
Yeah, it will.
I don't have kids, but
I was in the same situation.
okay, yeah, I was
Yeah,
too. I just remembered I was in the
Yeah, I
same.
was in the same situation. It works out,
Yeah,
but you got to make a lot of sacrifices.
it works out on
It
the
makes
man's part sometimes.
Man. I think my situation it works out on my mother's side.
Yeah.
It works out for my stepfather too. I just think that you have to do extra. You know, imagine training a kid like me who is not yours. Like imagine,
Bruh.
like your energy that you can put in something else.
Bruh.
You're using it to train somebody that's that probably not even still see you as a father. It doesn't matter what you do for this kid.
Yeah.
Like think about it.
I never saw. I never saw my father. It was like always war in my house.
Yeah,
Not my
it's
father.
always fight. There's always this.
Not my daddy.
It can act. I mean, it can
It can
really.
be stressful though. It could.
It is.
It's very stressful.
It is stressful. It's not a cool.
Yeah, it's very stressful.
I remember there are certain times that my mother, even when my mother wanna get certain things for her kids, she has to still prioritize the stepchild first, even though if the stepchild doesn't need it, because her interpretation will be different.
Yeah.
You know, and not just only her society. So people end up taking a lot of responsibilities, and
I can't do that.
you know, so it's
Too
tough.
selfish. Like Big Mike said, it's unnecessary hard work, investments with no return. That's fact. Because me, yeah, I'm going papa first. I'm so sorry. Except depending the relationship.
By me, I would take.
You
care
had
of
a
my-
good relationship
my
with yours.
stepfather.
I didn't have a
Me,
good relationship
it's not just
with
my
her.
stepmother too.
I didn't have a good relationship with either. I just recently got in contact with my stepmom, but I never had a good relationship with. He still knows I don't like him. I always tell him whenever I see him,
Your stepfather.
I don't like you.
Your stepfather.
Hell yeah. You know, so I think it depends the relationship. The investment with no returns, it depends the
But
relationship.
even with anything, this man probably provided for your shelter,
That's what I don't like.
probably food. You know,
You ain't my daddy. You ain't my dad. I'm so
he
sorry.
didn't have to do all
You
that.
ain't my daddy.
He could have get a 1 bedroom for him and the wife instead of getting a 2 bedroom, so you could have a extra room.
I still ain't my daddy.
He could have saved like $200 a month every
God
month.
bless you.
You know, so that's.
Hold on. He made a decision to marry a woman with a kid. So I'm sorry.
So will you accept to be in a home where, let's say, the man is like, you have a kid, that's okay, but the kid is not my kid. I'm not gonna take care of the kid. That kid, it's you and I, because you are the one that I'm marrying. You're gonna understand that.
Technically, it won't work out. Do you know why? The kid is still living in the house, so tech you're still providing for the kid.
So let's say if we are gonna pay for, so let's say we
Rent?
have our bills are like 2,000 a month, right? Since it's not 2 of us, it's 3 of us. We're gonna say into 3, and you'll pay your half and your
I won't
portion. I
marry
pay
a
my.
man like that.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Because when you came, you knew I had a child.
Yeah.
If you knew you
So,
cannot
but
handle to take care of
I
it.
cannot do that. I cannot do that. I've agreed with you that I cannot do that. Then will you be able to marry a man like that?
If I agree to it, then fine.
Yeah.
But if
But you are saying you will never agree.
I would not, because the thing is, when you came, right, the first thing, like me, the first I'm going to tell you is, I have a child. I think, well, except if I hide it, well, people are doing it. But like, if I tell you I have a child, and you still make the choice to be with me, it is a choice that you made.
Right.
So you are responsible for the choices that you make. If you came and I told you I have a kid, and you say, okay, for that reason, I don't want a woman with kids. You go your way, I go my way, but you made the decision to be with me. But if you come and I tell you I have a kid, and you tell me, okay, I'll be with you, but you are responsible for your child, and I agree
to that.
then that one is different. But personally, me, Kuba Jasmine sitting here,
You
I
wouldn't.
would not agree. God bless you. Come and be going. That's why I've made a decision not to have a kid yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You should be
Get
proud.
married
You know what
first.
I mean?
With that being said,
I'm almost 35, so yeah.
with that, with that being said, my name is Kumasi Jame. Run a commercial
I
center.
am Jasmine, and today's show was sponsored by Inkwell for all your printing needs. If you need marketing campaigns, graphic design services, direct mail services, printing, all your printing needs, they have so many, okay? Rolling banners, all banners of different types of banners. They provide greeting cards, flyers, calendars, brochures, notepads, newsletters, everything that you need. You can reach out to Inkwell. Inkwell is located on 19.
And we sell domains too.
Yes, they sell domains as well. So
If you want DTF, we got you.
to everything that you need, everything, websites as well, business cards, everything that you need, you can reach out to Inkwell Printing. They are located on 1900 East Dublin Granville Road, or you can give them a call on 614-888-2201. Believers Attire. Today I took Kumasi's position and I wore one of their shirts. They have so many amazing shirts. If you want one, you can reach out to 220-465-0822. RG Kids Portrait, they are currently running their Christmas special and their newborn Christmas special. If you want one, they specialize in maternity kits and baby shoots. It comes with decor and attire. If you want them to shoot for you or take some pictures for you, from family pictures for you, you can reach out to them. Find them on Instagram. It's RG_kids_portrait, or you can give them a call or text on 614-254-2151. Don't forget to find us on all your digital platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all your digital platforms. It's Revolt Media. Thank you once again for watching. If you're out there, you want to be a part of our show, reach out to us on 220-465-0822, 220-465-0822. I was here with Kumasi. Thank you for watching, and have a good one. We'll catch you on Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye. Go to sleep.